If you're feeling trapped, you're feeling stuck, you're in a rut, today's the day for you. You're in the right place because I'm going to give you 7 strategies to get unstuck on this morning's Coffee with Colleen. Hey, good morning and welcome to Coffee with Colleen. You know what? I think it was Zig Ziglar that said a rut is just the grave with the ends kicked out. So if you're feeling like you're stuck or you're in a rut, tell me where you're at. Either send me a private message on Facebook Messenger or put it in the comments below. Where are you stuck? Because this is something I want to address a little bit more often, because with my private coaching clients, this is something we talk about a lot because we get in our heads, we get stuck in worry, we get stuck making a decision. We're afraid to change something, or any place we get stuck where we're afraid that something's going to happen or we feel paralyzed with fear. This happens to a lot of us. And if you feel this is a topic that somebody could appreciate or maybe benefit from, please share this video. It doesn't cost you a penny, and Facebook likes it when they see Facebook's live videos being shared. Hey, Fiona, are you back from Wisconsin? So when you get stuck, it seems like more often than not, we're waiting for something externally to happen in our lives. Like, if only this would happen, then I could move forward. But change comes from within. You have to start with change with yourself before you'll see things happening. Unless you want to be like one of those people that life happens to, or do you want to make life happen? So that's something to consider as well. So change happens when you start making a change. So we're going to talk about 7 things you can do and a little bonus item to help yourself get unstuck and move forward. Because when you make a change, things change. Other opportunities open up for you, don't they? Don't you feel that way? So number 1, in your head, 2 emotions can't exist at the same time within your brain because they're different chemical reactions. So when you find yourself feeling stuck or depressed or, focus on gratitude. We can all find right now, matter of fact, do this as practice. What can you be grateful for right now? We can all be grateful for something: our health, our home. We have a roof over our heads. We have a job. We don't have a job. We're looking for a job. We have a car. We don't have a car. We have our health. We don't have our health. We have children. Remember too that there's a difference between pain and suffering. Pain is an actual physical reaction in your body. And I'm really big on using the right words. And I go back to The Princess Bride. I don't think that word means what you think it means. We say that all the time in our family when people say, oh, I feel threatened, or I feel like I'm, wait a minute. You feel uncomfortable. That's different than feeling threatened. There's some of these words that can really trigger us. So if you can't, you got to use the right word. But remember, there's a difference between, again, pain and suffering. Pain is a physical reaction in your body. Suffering is a story you tell yourself in your head. So are you truly in physical pain? And you may be. I mean, remember, I had breast cancer last year, so I know pain, I know, that kind of stuff. But suffering is a story I was telling myself. Oh, boo-hoo. And I found myself wallowing, woe is me. And for heaven's sakes, I had a heart attack. I had a stroke. I have breast cancer. Why me? It's so easy to get caught up in that. And I did at times. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, we're all human. It's just a real thing. But because I've been there and I've wallowed, that's where some of this comes from, is that you can't, the suffering is kind of that story that we tell ourselves. So remember, there's a difference between pain and suffering. And focus on gratitude may not take away the physical feeling of pain, but what it will do is release endorphins into your bloodstream. And what are endorphins? Painkillers. And remember the old trick that I always talk about: take a pen, put it in your mouth, and you walk around like that for 2 minutes. Empty the dishwasher. Anything that you're going to do for 2 minutes. Just by doing that for 2 minutes, it forces your face into a smile, and it triggers these glands in your face that release. Yep, you got it, endorphins. So gratitude and wallowing misery cannot exist at the same time. I see people putting things in the comments. Well, Debbie's grateful for the sun, the chickens that make you go outside even when it's cold. Colette, hey, good morning, Colette. Fiona, was in DC and she's had a safe trip. So all of these things that we can be grateful for, that you can focus on, because sometimes we find ourselves focusing on what's happened in the past. Well, we can learn from it, but there's nothing we can do about it, right? Have you forgiven yourself for the mistakes you've made? Because yes, guess what? We've all made mistakes. So have you forgiven yourself? Or do you find yourself focusing on the past and regretting the things you've done, or making yourself feel bad? Apologize if you need to apologize, and learn from it, resolve not to do it again, forgive yourself, and move on. And if you need to apologize to somebody in your past, take care of that too, because that could be that cloud that's hanging over your head. Are you blaming yourself for something that it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to? Sometimes we kind of get this God complex where we blame ourselves that something didn't turn out and it wasn't even our fault. Do we really think we have that much control over the world? Do we really think that we were the one? Maybe we were. But really, when you look at a situation and you're blaming yourself for it, and maybe that's where you're stuck, come on. Do you really have that much control? Or people that say, well, gosh, I feel so bad because I thought in my head, well, I was really angry at this one point and I thought, gosh, I hope they get a flat tire. And then something happened, they got a ticket or something happened and I did that. Did you really? Do your thoughts really have that much power? And if you believe that your thoughts have that much power, then you need to start thinking some awesome things. Start thinking some glorious things. If you really think that your thoughts carry that much power and action in your life, that your thoughts can actually impact something that's going on, then you need to change your thoughts and make them more positive about yourself and about other people too. So ask yourself while you're stuck in those memories, what you can do, accept them, move on, do whatever you need to do, and then choose to find peace. Peace is a decision. Joy is a decision. Happiness is a decision. Happiness doesn't happen to you. Happiness happens when you make it happen, right? So forgive yourself and others and move on. So that's number one, is to focus on gratitude. Number two, kind of ties in a little bit, change your perspective. Once you release your grip on the past, you're able to see your current reality in different ways. So meditate. Learn to refocus on things that are happening right now in a different way. Spend time alone, travel, do something different. Even if it's just taking a break from your daily activities, where you sit in your living room, sit in a different location. As soon as you can shift your perspective, it'll help you change things, because a lot of times when we fall into this rut, it's because we're doing the same things over and over and over again. Maybe you need to move your furniture. I'm not really into feng shui, but feng shui, move things around, and change that, because I think what that does is it changes your mental perspective as well. Go someplace new. If you go grocery shopping at the same store all the time, go to a new grocery store. I wrote something else down. Wait a minute. Where was it? Oh, if you go shopping at the same place, if you work out at the same gym, or if you have the same workout that you're doing all the time, do a different workout. If you normally go running, lift weights. If you normally lift weights, go for a walk. Change the things that you're doing will help you change the perspective of what's in your life. Number three, start with small things. Don't try to change the world. Don't try to change everything at once. To shift and get out of a rut, just tiny little changes are necessary, really. You don't have to make huge things. Like I said, move things in your house. Change your morning routine. You do have a morning routine, don't you? In the Gorgeous Within group, our gorgeous gals, we're working on a new morning routine this week. And that's what our main focus is to write down the first week's activities, is write down what your current morning routine is. Write that down, and then we'll decide what we want differently about it. So if you have a morning routine, change it up, do something different, make some new friends, meet some new people. Every choice you make matters, as long as it's a good positive one. And you're tempted sometimes, we are tempted to skip the little things, but don't. It's the accumulation of little things that add up to big change. So start making tiny little changes. If you only brush your teeth once a day, brush them twice a day. Or just the tiny little things can make a big difference. Number 4, explore your purpose. Judy said, prayer is powerful. That was a great time to get into prayer. What's your purpose? Everything that's on the planet, everything in the universe has a purpose. And you do too. You're not here by accident. You're not watching this by accident. You're not on this planet by accident. You know, and I am a faith-filled person. As a Christian, I don't believe God looked down and went, oops, how'd they get there? He has a purpose for you. What's your purpose? And if you're not quite sure what it is, pray, meditate, think about what it is, you know, in your life or your character. And it may not be to be on a Facebook Live show. It may not be to be in the public eye, because we need a lot of people behind the scenes. You know how many people are behind the scenes helping me do what I do? And, you know, Jennifer and John and Andrew and new people that we're hiring. Of course, Darcy. There's so many people behind the scenes that contribute to making what we do a success. So maybe your purpose in life is to be behind the scenes. It doesn't have to be out there doing some, you know, great, big, huge thing. As the Dowager Countess says, a change is as good as a rest. I miss that show. Prayers are powerful, said Judy. And Debbie said, moving the furniture around a couple of times a year. Yep. So Victoria said, pain lifted up to thee is pain no more. Joy cast aside the weeds that sorrow wore. Saint Therese of Lisieux. That's so cool. Grateful for family, friends, faith. Yeah, see, there's so many things we can be faithful for or to be thankful for. So examples of your life purpose. Maybe it's helping somebody else overcome a sadness right now. You know, maybe it's not this huge, great mission in life, but maybe you're just really good at helping people overcome sadness, helping others reach their full potential, growing as a human being, being a better person and smiling at other people is a purpose in life. How many people smile at you during the day, right? Protecting animals who suffer. You know, you may need to relook at your life purpose. Maybe your life purpose right now is raising little children. That's a huge life purpose. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. So if you're currently rocking the cradle, that's your life purpose. You shouldn't be focusing on trying to do all these other things when you've got these little human beings. I think that's part of the problem in our today's society, as I step onto my soapbox, is that we're so focused on other things that we're not forming our young adults properly. We're not giving them that step up in life that they need. And consequently, we look around us and we you know, where did all these selfish people come from? Hello? Okay, off my soapbox. All right, so focusing on when you're trying to find your life's purpose, what do you do that you get so absorbed in it you lose track of time? What are you good at? What are your natural gifts? What makes you feel good? What inspires you? Who inspires you in life? What are your favorite things to do right now? What were your favorite things to do in the past? What makes you happy? Start thinking about these things, because as our life goes on, our purpose may change. Number 5, believe in yourself. Trust that you can reach the expectations and reach the goals that you have set. Make a list of your strengths. Make a list of your positive traits. This happens every time I sit down to work with somebody when I do an image consultation or even a business consultation. You know, tell me where you're at right now. Boom, they start listing off all the negative stuff. I'm like, no. Tell me the positive things. What do you like about your business? What do you like about the clothing that's in your closet? What do you like about your body type? Because we're so quick to focus on the negative about ourselves. So make a list of your strengths and your positive traits. Remember that you are capable. Think about the things you've succeeded at in the past. What have you overcome in the past? Then you are a survivor, because you're here right now, because we've all overcome something. Nobody lives a perfect life. I say this all the time. I haven't said it in a while. You don't see what's behind this right here, because I show you the neat and tidy areas. I don't show you the messy areas of my office. Same thing with our lives. We don't show the messy middle in our lives. Nobody does. So when you're looking at somebody else, you have to recognize that they're human and they've got a messy life too. There's things that they're struggling about. Look at all the very successful people who commit suicide. And you look and you think they have everything, but we're all dealing with something. You remember that when you're at the store and you're smiling at people. Somebody's dealing with something. And so if you're having challenges with that, in the links in the show notes, I have a link on how to be happy, give you the character traits of people who are happy and live happy lives. That would be a good one to go watch or take a look at those notes. Number 6, practice being hopeful. Life has got a lot of disappointments. But what are those disappointments? When our expectation is here and this happens, we're disappointed because of this. So maybe don't expect so much. You know, don't expect perfection in our lives, because, you know, is that going to happen? Really? Maybe you're experiencing that natural protectiveness of pessimism. So your expectations are really low. So you have no hope. So there's a happy medium in there, overstretching our expectations and being so pessimistic to protect ourselves from harm, to protect ourselves from disappointment. Then you walk around depressed all the time. Hope is somewhere in the middle, right? And that's something you have to work on to change. Meditation, prayer, reading inspirational books, listening to inspirational speakers, and doing that regularly. I was listening to Colleen Johnson the other day on Snapchat, and she said, you notice I'm not on Snapchat in the morning because, quite frankly, you are not my top priority. I am. So I have to listen to something in the morning. So then she was talking about morning routines and whatnot. But she said the night before, she picks out what she's going to listen to in the morning. She's not on social media. She's not checking her email. She's not snapping. She's not doing all of those things. She's fixing that space between her ears first. And we have to focus on that, because hope, you don't walk around hopeful all the time. It's not a permanent state. You kind of have to work on it. So work on hope by prayer, meditation, reading inspirational books, listening to inspirational speakers. Number 7, change your diet. There's a lot of foods that have been associated with negative thoughts, negative feelings, and that type of thing. So changing your diet by removing wheat, remove dairy, remove sugar, see what happens. Do it for a minimum of 3 days to really help it work through your system. And number 8, which is your bonus, because I said 7 things, but this is the bonus. Consider speaking with a professional or talking to your pastor. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in turning to another human being and asking for help. We're very social creatures as human beings. We're not meant to do this alone. So there's no shame in turning to somebody else and asking for help, speaking to a counselor, speaking to your pastor. So sometimes asking for help, just turning to someone in your life that you love and you trust, I need some help. That could be the most powerful step that you take to get out of a rut. So those things again are number 1, gratitude. Focus on gratitude, because gratitude and wallowing cannot exist in your brain at the exact same time. Number 2, change your perspective by doing something different. Change your routine, change your workout, change things. Number 3, make small changes. Don't try to change the world all overnight. Make itty bitty little changes. Make one change today. One change. That's it. Sit in a different seat. Take a different drive home from work. Go to a different grocery store. Do a different workout routine. Do a workout routine. Go for a walk. Just one, decide right now. Comment below if you're committed. What's going to be the one tiny little thing that you change today, and do that today. Just one tiny little change that you can make today to kind of stir up your life a little bit. Number 4, get in touch with your life's purpose. Gail Hyatt, Michael Hyatt's wife, says, when you lose your way, when you lose your why, you lose your way. So when you lose why, your life purpose, and why you're here, because sometimes we get so, caught up in the mundane of the daily that we lose that. So get in touch with your life purpose. Number 5, believe in yourself and define previous successes. So you know that you've overcome it in the past, you can overcome it again. Number 6, help other people. Reach out and help other people. Number 7, change your diet. And of course, the bonus is talk to a professional. That's it for today. If you felt today was beneficial, please share this video with somebody else that you think that can be helped get out of a rut. Smile at somebody today. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and click the little bell so that you're notified. I release videos normally on Tuesdays, but that could change. So click the bell so you don't miss any. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next time on Coffee with Colleen. Thanks. Bye.